The Mark on the Wall is a short story written by Virginia Woolf, first published in 1917. It's often considered one of Woolf's early experimental works, showcasing her unique narrative style and introspective exploration of consciousness. The story is essentially a stream of consciousness monologue that takes place in the mind of an unnamed narrator as they contemplate a small, seemingly inconsequential mark on the wall. This simple mark triggers a cascade of thoughts and reflections, as the narrator's mind drifts through various topics and memories. The narrative is nonlinear, and the narrator's thoughts wander from one subject to another, exploring themes of time, existence, perception, and the interconnectedness of human experience. The Mark on the Wall is a prime example of Woolf's modernist approach to literature, as she delves into the inner workings of the human mind and presents a fragmented and introspective narrative. It's a relatively short piece, but it provides a glimpse into the complex and innovative style that Woolf would further develop in her later works. The narrator begins by recounting a simple task: their need to purchase a lead pencil. They went to a stationery store located near Victoria Station to buy the pencil. At the store, they also requested a dozen pencils and an eraser. The narrator explains that the sight of the remains of a well-used eraser bothers them, both in drawing and in storytelling, as it signifies mistakes and corrections. The storekeeper separates the pencils and erasers from a bundle. The narrator then notices an old envelope lying around, and this sight triggers their thoughts. They describe the handwriting on the envelope, noting its loops and decorative elements. The envelope is casually placed on a dusty table. The address on the envelope indicates that it was meant for someone living in the English countryside. The narrator reflects that the country referred to in the address is England and that the person it was meant for has been dead for many years. The narrator expresses a fascination with imagining the lives of people who once lived in such houses. They liken these imaginings to the nature of a ghost, suggesting that these thoughts are like ephemeral echoes of the past. In this paragraph, the narrator's mind is set in motion by the seemingly insignificant details of a pencil purchase and an old envelope. The narrative technique introduces the stream of consciousness style that will be central to the story, as the narrator's thoughts jump from one observation to another, touching on themes of time, existence, and imagination. After the initial contemplation of the envelope, the narrator's thoughts continue to flow. They consider the writing on the envelope, marveling at the loops and flourishes that compose it. The sight of handwriting on the envelope sparks their imagination, leading them to reflect on the history of the house where the person named in the address once lived. The narrator becomes captivated by the idea of people who have lived in such houses and envisions their lives. However, the narrator's thoughts take a contemplative turn. They describe this imaginative exercise as of the nature of a ghost. They compare their musings about the past inhabitants to the idea of a ghostly presence, highlighting the intangible and elusive quality of these thoughts. The narrative then shifts, as the narrator's train of thought returns to the present moment. They describe the room they are in, their sitting room, as well as the chair they're sitting on and the fireplace. This transition brings the reader back from the contemplation of the past to the current surroundings of the narrator. The narrator also takes note of a mysterious mark on the wall, which serves as the story's titular element. This mark is described as small, round, and brown. The presence of the mark triggers a series of reflections on how it came to be there. The narrator contemplates various possibilities, including the idea that it might have been made by a nail in the wall or a previous tenant of the room. This speculation, in turn, leads the narrator to ponder the history of the room and the people who have inhabited it over time. As these thoughts meander, the narrator's mind circles back to the concept of time and the passage of years. They consider how the mark on the wall might have been there for years, gradually accumulating history and significance. This prompts them to delve into a broader philosophical reflection on time itself. The passage of time becomes a central theme, as the narrator contemplates the fluidity of time and how it affects our perceptions and understanding of the world. The opening of the story, therefore, sets the stage for the narrative style that will unfold. The narrator's stream of consciousness leads them from mundane observations to profound philosophical ponderings. The story's core themes of time, perception, imagination, and the interconnectedness of human experiences begin to emerge as the narrator's thoughts explore the mark on the wall and the various associations it evokes. In summary, the opening paragraph and subsequent passages of The Mark on the Wall establish the story's unique narrative approach, introduce the central elements of the mark in the envelope, and provide a glimpse into the narrator's inner world as they contemplate these seemingly ordinary details. The Mark on the Wall by Virginia Woolf explores several themes through its stream of consciousness narrative style and introspective reflections. Some of the prominent themes in the story include perception and reality. The story delves into the idea that our perception of reality is shaped by our subjective experiences and interpretations. The mark on the wall serves as a focal point for the narrator's thoughts, triggering a cascade of associations and speculations. This exploration of how a seemingly insignificant detail can lead to profound contemplations underscores the theme of how our perception of reality is malleable and influenced by our perspectives. Time and change. Time is a central theme in the story. The narrator's thoughts about the mark on the wall lead them to reflect on the passage of time and its effects on objects, people, and places. The narrator contemplates the mark's history, whether it has been there for a long time, and how it accumulates meaning over the years. This theme ties into Woolf's broader exploration of the fluidity of time and how it shapes our understanding of the world. Imagination and creativity. The story emphasizes the power of imagination and creative thought. The narrator's contemplation of the mark in the envelope demonstrates how a simple stimulus can spark complex mental processes. The narrator's imagination transports them to different times, places, and scenarios, highlighting the creative potential of the human mind. Introspection and self-reflection. As the narrator's thoughts roam freely, the story delves into the narrator's inner world. The reader gains insight into the narrator's thoughts, emotions, and philosophical musings. This theme of introspection underscores the personal nature of the narrative and invites readers to reflect on their own thought processes and perspectives. Connectedness and humanity. The narrator's fascination with the lives of people who have lived in certain houses points to a broader theme of interconnectedness. The story suggests that every individual is part of a larger tapestry of human experiences and histories. The mark on the wall becomes a symbol of the many lives that have passed through the room, leaving their marks in various ways. Existential questions. The story raises existential questions about the nature of existence, the passage of time, and the significance of seemingly trivial details. The narrator's pondering of the mark's origins and implications touches on deeper questions about the meaning of life and the impermanence of human endeavors. Modernist experimentation. The Mark on the Wall is an example of modernist literature, and it showcases Woolf's experimentation with narrative techniques. The stream of consciousness style allows for the exploration of multiple themes and ideas in a nonlinear and fragmented manner, mirroring the complexity of human thought. In summary, The Mark on the Wall is a thought-provoking short story that engages with themes related to perception, time, imagination, introspection, human interconnectedness, and existential contemplation. Woolf's innovative narrative approach invites readers to explore the depths of the narrator's mind and consider the broader philosophical implications of their reflections. Let's delve deeper into the analysis of Virginia Woolf's short story, The Mark on the Wall. This analysis will explore some of the key literary elements and techniques used in the story to convey its themes and ideas. Stream of consciousness. One of the most distinctive features of the story is its use of the stream of consciousness narrative technique. Woolf employs this technique to present the reader with the raw, unfiltered flow of the narrator's thoughts. The story unfolds as a continuous stream of reflections, associations, and tangential musings, mirroring the way human thought often works. This technique provides insight into the inner workings of the narrator's mind and invites readers to experience the thought process in a direct and intimate way. Exploration of perception. The story centers on the notion that a seemingly inconsequential mark on the wall can trigger a chain of profound thoughts and contemplations. This exploration of perception highlights how individuals can find meaning and significance in the most ordinary or overlooked details of their surroundings. By examining the mark from multiple angles, the story illustrates how our perspectives shape our understanding of reality. Time is a central theme. Time is a pervasive theme throughout the narrative. The mark on the wall becomes a conduit for the narrator's reflections on the passage of time, the accumulation of history, and the impermanence of human existence. The narrator's musings on the mark's longevity and the lives of those who have inhabited the room emphasize the transitory nature of human experiences and the interconnectedness of past, present, and future. Imagination and creativity. The story underscores the creative power of the mind. Through the act of contemplating the mark, the narrator's imagination takes flight, leading them to envision scenarios, histories, and characters associated with the mark and the envelope. This highlights the potential of imagination to weave intricate narratives and engage with complex ideas. Existential reflections. Woolf uses the story as a platform for exploring existential questions about life, meaning, and mortality. The narrator's thoughts on the mark's existence and the lives of people who once lived in the house reveal a sense of wonder and curiosity about the human experience. The story invites readers to consider their own place within the larger fabric of existence. Language and perception. The language used in the story is reflective of the narrator's thought process. The narrative often shifts abruptly from one idea to another, and sentence structures can be fragmented or elliptical. This mimics the way thoughts can be fluid and nonlinear. The story captures the intricate patterns of thought as the narrator's mind navigates between concrete observations and abstract contemplations. Interconnectedness of humanity. The narrator's fascination with the lives of individuals who have occupied the same space highlights the interconnected nature of human lives. The mark on the wall serves as a symbol of the countless experiences and stories that have unfolded within the room's confines, illustrating the shared human history that transcends individual lives. In summary, The Mark on the Wall showcases Virginia Woolf's innovative narrative style and her ability to explore profound themes through seemingly ordinary details. Through the stream of consciousness technique, the story engages with concepts of perception, time, imagination, and human interconnectedness. Its introspective exploration and existential musings make it a prime example of Woolf's modernist approach to literature. Let's delve into a critical discussion of Virginia Woolf's short story, The Mark on the Wall. While the story is highly regarded for its innovative narrative technique and exploration of themes, there are various aspects that can be critically examined. Inaccessibility for some readers. Woolf's stream of consciousness style can be challenging for some readers. The constant flow of thoughts and the lack of clear transitions might lead to confusion or disorientation. While this narrative technique provides an intimate glimpse into the narrator's mind, it can also alienate readers who are not accustomed to or comfortable with this type of narrative structure. Subjectivity and interpretation. The story's focus on the mark and the envelope might appear trivial to some readers, and the abstract reflections that follow might seem disconnected. The story heavily relies on the reader's willingness to engage with the narrator's thoughts and find personal meaning in their associations. This reliance on subjective interpretation can be polarizing, with some readers finding it thought-provoking and others finding it tedious or obscure. Lack of plot and action. The Mark on the Wall lacks traditional plot progression or significant external action. The story is primarily driven by the narrator's internal reflections, which might result in a lack of engagement for readers who prefer more dynamic narratives with clear plot developments and character interactions. Critique of modernist fragmentation. While the stream of consciousness technique is a hallmark of modernist literature and contributes to the story's introspective nature, it can also be criticized for its fragmentation. Critics argue that the disjointed nature of the narrative might hinder readers' ability to follow the story's thread or connect with the characters and themes on a deeper level. Limited character development. The story's primary focus is on the narrator's thoughts, which leaves little room for developing well-rounded characters. The characters exist primarily as vessels for the narrator's musings, and this lack of character depth might prevent readers from forming strong emotional connections to the story. Intellectualism versus accessibility. The Mark on the Wall is often associated with intellectualism and can be perceived as catering to a more academic or literary audience. This could limit its accessibility and appeal to a broader readership who might not be familiar with or interested in the complexities of modernist literature. Innovative literary experimentation. On the positive side, the story's narrative technique is a testament to Woolf's willingness to push the boundaries of literary form. It demonstrates her commitment to experimenting with narrative styles and her desire to capture the intricate workings of the human mind. For many readers, this experimental approach is the very essence of what makes Woolf's writing unique and intellectually stimulating. In conclusion, The Mark on the Wall is a complex and thought-provoking work that raises both praise and criticism. While its stream of consciousness style allows for an intimate exploration of the narrator's thoughts and the themes of perception, time, and imagination, it can also pose challenges for readers in terms of accessibility and engagement. Whether readers find the story enriching or frustrating often depends on their preferences for narrative style, their willingness to engage with abstract ideas, and their familiarity with modernist literary techniques. Let's conduct a thorough examination of Virginia Woolf's short story, The Mark on the Wall. This examination will delve into various aspects of the story, including its structure, narrative style, themes, and implications. Structure and narrative style. The Mark on the Wall is a short story that employs a stream of consciousness narrative technique. This technique presents the reader with a continuous flow of the narrator's thoughts, reflecting the inner workings of the human mind. The story lacks a traditional linear plot, focusing instead on the narrator's introspective musings prompted by a mark on the wall in an old envelope. Themes and ideas. Perception and reality. The story explores how a small mark on the wall can spark a cascade of contemplations. This emphasis on perception suggests that reality is subjective and can be shaped by individual perspectives and interpretations. Time and existence. Time is a central theme. The mark becomes a metaphor for the passage of time, prompting the narrator to ponder the history of the room, the lives of previous inhabitants, and the impermanence of human existence. Imagination and creativity. The narrative demonstrates the power of imagination to transform mundane observations into intricate narratives. The narrator's musings on the mark in the envelope showcase the creative potential of the human mind. Introspection and self-reflection. The story provides insight into the narrator's thoughts and emotions. This introspection allows readers to connect with the narrator on a personal level and encourages them to reflect on their own thought processes. Interconnectedness and humanity. The mark on the wall serves as a symbol of the interconnectedness of human experiences across time. The narrator's fascination with the lives of past inhabitants underscores the idea that individual lives are part of a larger human tapestry. Implications and significance. Innovation in modernist literature. The Mark on the Wall is a prime example of Woolf's modernist experimentation. Its stream of consciousness style challenges traditional narrative structures and provides a deeper understanding of the characters' inner lives. Engagement with everyday details. The story highlights the potential for significant contemplation in seemingly mundane details. This approach challenges readers to reconsider the significance of their surroundings and everyday experiences. Philosophical exploration. The story's existential ponderings invite readers to engage with profound questions about existence, time, and the nature of reality. The mark becomes a metaphorical entry point into a larger philosophical discourse. Reader participation. The open-ended and abstract nature of the story requires readers to actively engage with the text. Each reader's interpretation is unique, fostering a participatory reading experience. Literary legacy. The Mark on the Wall contributes to Woolf's legacy as a pioneer of literary modernism. Its innovative narrative style influenced subsequent generations of writers who sought to experiment with form and narrative structure. In conclusion, The Mark on the Wall is a complex and layered short story that engages with themes of perception, time, imagination, and human interconnectedness. Woolf's use of the stream of consciousness narrative style invites readers to explore the depths of the narrator's mind and to reflect on their own relationship with reality and the passage of time. The story's philosophical implications and its role in shaping modernist literature further solidify its place in literary history.